right.
Well,
Hello,
I think
hello.
It's Monday, isn't it?
It's a Monday.
It's Monday. But around here, that's a good thing.
Right,
'Cause that
right.
means it's podcast.
Podcast, discussion,
Mhm.
interaction,
All that good stuff.
Holy follows Batman. Wow, I think,
Yeah,
I think those
that's
are
a lot.
I think those are completely unrelated to the podcast. But oh my god,
Yeah,
there's
definitely
so many.
don't have anything to do with that Dark Souls video. Nope, not at all.
Oh my god, Jesus!
Not at all.
Thank you all so much for popping in here.
Yep,
We got
welcome.
Cthulhu-kun, Destructor, Ameju,
Observer
Nesco does
Matthew.
Twitch, Woolash, AK Games, Khalid. Oh,
Welcome.
Hello,
Welcome,
everybody.
welcome.
I'm so glad to have one of these happening.
Mhm.
Like before
It's been a while.
before we get too far into this, like as you can see, I'm a bit sunburned. Like I am a little bit
Although it's faded pretty
reddened
well.
and stuff. It's faded pretty well, but it's still all over my arms and stuff as well. But I really wanted to do one of these because it was like, oh, we did one of these a while ago, but I feel like we're a bit overdue for something like this. Because I don't know what it is every once in a while, but I was in that moment of excitement from getting out like the Dark Souls little highlight video up there.
Mhm.
But it's more of like an experiment. Like it's something where I definitely look at it and go like, oh, it could be a little bit better. It could be like, put in a specific way and stuff where I'm like, oh, but I'm glad there's something different that where people like come to the channel and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
they're surprised that,
Yeah.
oh, they did that. Huh.
Mhm.
Okay, sure. Why not?
What next could potentially happen?
Right,
Yeah.
but in that moment, like just giving you guys a little bit of insight, there's that immediate sense of like you kind of get hit with this immediate feeling of inadequacy of like, oh, but you didn't do this, or you didn't do it this way, or blah 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 blah. And that negative kind of self-talk is just something that can just hit you all of a sudden, even when it's
Yeah.
something really cool that happens, a surprise to be sure, but
Right.
a welcome one, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's like, while so many cool things can be happening, it's really easy for just stuff to suddenly hit you, and then it's like,
Mhm.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
There goes my positivity and stuff.
Mhm.
So I wanted this AMA to be one where it was like, hey, let's talk about whatever. Like there's like, nothing's off the table, just
Mhm.
like, I might not be able to answer every question.
Right,
from you
yeah.
necessarily, but
Uh-huh.
like incapable necessarily, but like, yeah. I
But
wanna
it
know
is
what's going
podcast
on, yeah.
number 144,
144,
which is a very big number. Like
Mhm.
we've been doing these for a long time.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's actually kind of gross.
It's also been, I think, 3 years to the day. It's been 3 years to the
I've
day.
been
I
waiting
think,
for that.
yeah, since we did Patreon as well.
Yeah.
Like basically like right around this
Yeah,
time,
that's
3 years
right.
ago.
Yeah, because it was
So-
August of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Oh, man.
yeah, it all is just kind of a bunch of little milestones and stuff. But that was pretty good. But yeah. Speaking of painfully red in skin, have you two seen HBO's Chernobyl yet? No. Haven't watched too many live action things
Yeah.
in the last little bit.
But I do love the word slaw, so maybe I should.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this also a thing of where, like, it's a slight plug to get HBO's whatever new streaming kind of service thing where they were trying to be like, hey, fellow kids, we have anime and cartoons on this thing as well. Did you hear about that? Where they were
No,
like,
I
really,
didn't.
HBO was really trying to be like,
HBO.
not only are we doing our HBO original content, but we're licensing a whole bunch of like
Interspecies reviewers and things like that.
just stuff in general.
Hmm.
And then that's
Wow.
something that happened there. If anything, asking questions is something where I have thought about there might make sense to have some kind of a specific way to have the question make sure it gets answered. I would say if anything, using the berries highlight my message thing will guarantee that question gets answered, because sometimes chat just moves too fast and I miss one. But I'll try to make sure that we go through each one, unless it's a question that we've already answered, previously in this podcast. But yeah.
Also, shout out to one of our VIPs, Stinsfire. Been a VIP supporter of ours for quite a while.
Yeah.
And thank you for the support. It means a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stinsfire. It's been awesome having you, not only in the VIP chat as well, but just on like streams and stuff, and just seeing you in the community. Thank you very much. Yeah. I appreciate it a lot.
Like 3 years ago, that's kind of crazy, because this is something that I never would have expected to have happened, like 5 years ago, say, but now, we're 3 years into having this whole Patreon thing.
Yeah. Neurolisk with the 7 months of Twitch Prime finally got the chance to catch a podcast. Nice. Also, if you read this, remind the people to watch Made in Abyss. Made in Abyss is amazing.
It is.
You should check it out.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
It'll really suck you in.
We'll read questions even if they don't have the berries highlight message attached to it as well.
But that's just an easier way to catch our eye.
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys plan to read Hajime no Ippo's manga after you finish the anime? I don't think so. It's one of those ones though where there's a very low likelihood that there's going to be more, anime,
right?
Because it's been so long. But I also don't know the release schedule for when the most recent Hajime no Ippo anime content came out. So who knows? Maybe actually no, there is something being worked on, and it's just something that's not going to be around for like another 5 to 7 years or something.
Well, and one of the things I'm kind of curious, because there's like 1,200 chapters of Ippo, right? So like, something at what point does how many chapters does the anime go up to? Yeah,
like I don't know. Not giving Background Chan any credit? Weird, Chimp. Oh, yeah, that's true. Background Chan wasn't always with us, but has definitely been the
since nearly
the foundation, if you will, of our videos. Literally, it is the thing that is the deepest in the perspective of this whole thing.
Well said.
Yeah. 5 years ago, you were normal boys. Now you're philosophical, shonen-blooded furries.
Yep.
I unironically am happy about that. Like,
me too.
I think
happy.
In some ways, I think in some ways the channel has made me a happier person. Just in general. Like that's. I think I'm in a little bit of an emotionally like vulnerable, wholesome mood right now. But I think that unironically, the fact that I just love shonen now in a lot of ways is just something that it feels good to be on the other side of that. Like there's been times during the channel where I've been like, oh, I think that I might have been a bit condescending to this show, or I might have like looked at this one and compared it too much to something else. But like I'm unironically just really happy about that. So that's sweet.
Like thinking back to all the anime that I just basically didn't look at because I was like, no, that's because of presuppositions and things like that. Like One Piece was one of those shows where I was like, no, One Piece probably sucks. Like I don't think it's probably garbage.
Okay,
never have I been so wrong.
This was really weird. I have to go back and check my notifications. Okay, this is weird. I'm gonna bear with me for a second, guys, but this is like one of the funniest like little like moments or something like that. There's another Twitch streamer live right now doing something, I guess. And someone named Pokimane, but I'm pretty sure Pokimane wouldn't be the one that actually did this. I just got a little Twitch notification that said Pokimane gifted you a tier 1 sub to Jake Retake. And I'm like, is that... No, there's no way. There's no way that's actually at all related to Pokimane's actual...
Maybe.
No, because I think Pokimane is like her. What's her actual Twitch handle? Can someone can someone put her actual Twitch handle in chat so I know whether or not this is actually Pokimane though? I know I can check in notifications, but I can't see which. It doesn't link me to Pokimane. It just says Pokimane.
So I'm gonna I'ma be vulnerable, right? No, not really. I don't know who Pokimane is. Who is Pokimane?
Pokimane is a Twitch streamer that's been like one of the top Twitch streamers for a very, very long time.
Oh, okay.
But
gotcha.
If you're here, Pokimane, big fan, I guess. Thank you. I'm sure she's probably more just watching maybe Jake's stream, I guess. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, it's legit? Oh, okay. Hi.
Really?
just a couple anime boys
Hello.
Being nervous, I guess. I don't know. Hello. But yeah, let's go into the Q&A, I guess.
There was one that I saw where they were saying, what is your favorite show that you're currently watching right now? Which is rather timely because we're not watching JoJo's anymore.
Oh.
So
sure.
I think mine is kind of obvious. Maybe like a lot of you guys will probably already know this, but I mean for me it's Beastars.
Beastars,
yeah, like Beastars. Yeah, I've been having so much fun with Beastars.
Yeah, I think it's Beastars for me as well because right now in the immediate bit, Beastars just really amped up a specific bit of the drama regarding a lot of the things that are going on with the characters, and it's so much fun, y'all. It's so much fun. So yeah.
Okay, Kaguya is a very close other one on there, but like.
Yeah.
Oh man, now you make me feel bad about choosing Beastars, but no, it is Beastars for me still. But God, Kaguya has been amazing.
Kaguya with the recent episode that we recorded.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh wait, actually, hold on. No, because I was thinking about the stuff that we've released already for people to.
Yeah, so this Thursday, everybody.
That's
on
true.
Early Access.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Kaguya.
I think Kaguya's recent episode
is really good.
So freaking good. Like I think that definitely takes the cake. Actually, that's it for sure. Red Alchemist with the Twitch Prime for 16 months. One piece. Super Motoman with the 100 bits. I wasn't going to watch live until I saw it was a Q&A. One question I have is I know you're reading Dresden Files, Jacob. How far have you gotten since you last talked about it? Also, if Caleb ever gets into that series and you are both caught up, would you guys do a podcast on it or on literature in general? I am actually starting it right now in terms of the actual series and stuff. We've been going through the audiobook experiences and stuff.
Have you been liking that, by the way?
I haven't actually gotten much at all. Just about started last night.
All right, so I need to vent a little bit here. So, wait,
what is with subs being gifted right now? Oh my God, Knights of the Fallen gifting 25 tier 1 subs. What a legend! Thank you, Knights of the Fallen. Have you been around our Twitch channel that much? I don't recognize your name, and I'm so sorry if I don't. But thank you so much.
But Hesso and Sasageo
saluting you, and what a mad lad. Thank you.
That is insane.
I saw a lot of people that I recognized in the gifts and stuff. So. All right, that's awesome.
What were we talking about? Okay, so Dresden Files.
Files, right?
So I got into Dresden Files from a friend of mine that I played Pathfinder with that is also really into One Piece. We've had conversations about anime moments versus moments in the manga kind of a thing.
Okay.
He knows where I'm at and stuff. And he actually, so I just finished Skin Game basically, which is I think the 15th Dresden Files book, and he actually, for the end of Skin Game, in the final battle when something unexpected happens that involves a sword, he sent me a timestamp basically for the audiobook, and he was like, when you're at this much time left,
okay,
play Yusei Run, like a particular, like all the Yusei runs like stacked together into one song at this exact moment.
Wow.
And it synced up perfectly.
That's so cool.
Perfect. Yes, he is the one who spoiled. Synced up perfectly with what was happening.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Like, and it was, oh my god, it was so awesome. Like, it was, and that moment in the book was just an amazing moment. So
that's so sweet, though. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool. There was a message question that someone asked a while back, and they were asking whether we preferred One Piece or MHA, and then why. One of the things I think that's actually quite easy to answer about this question is that MHA's beginnings were one of the things that in some ways gave me hope for shonen in general. Because it wasn't something that was so original or super, unique or anything. But I remember the feeling of the beginnings of MHA to be something that carried me into the shonen with a vulnerable, open mind to be excited about how good it was.
Okay to have fun with it.
Right, exactly. And I felt like something really warm within that, and it was just wonderful. One Piece, though, has this sense of scale with the heart that MHA just doesn't have.
Well,
the idea that both of them have these really powerful heart-to-heart moments, and One Piece's, I would say, is one that we're experiencing through its original, intended medium. So there's a little bit of a more raw power, I'd say, that comes through in the emotional moments. But One Piece's ability to go big and small is just unparalleled. It's so good. I still think of the Vivi moment with holding up the the wrists and everything, and showing that they're all family together. And then also Dr. Kureha's line of, "He's my son." And I still feel that visceral, just powerful emotion, and it's so good.
So,
oh my god, I can't put the two against each other, but if I must, One Piece is doing things that I don't think MHA has a chance of being able to do because of the style of story.
So one of my I'm gonna phrase this as a negative. One of the things that just crushes me with stories is when it feels like the best is behind you. Right? Now, I don't necessarily...
we missed some bits, but we'll read them out in a second. Keep going.
I don't necessarily think that that's the case with MHA, but I think it could be.
Okay.
I know that's not the case with One Piece, right? Like it's something where Oda has so won me over with him as a creator, that I am yes, ride or die. Let's take this to as far as it will go.
Right.
Like it's so good.
Yeah. Got to shout out Dr. Women Respecter with the 1,000 bits. Oh yeah, by the way, Beastar Season 2 coming January 2021, PogChamp. Yes, I know. Yep. I'm so excited.
Caleb told me about that this morning. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be great.
I'm so hyped.
Because oh man.
Before we get too much into one individual question, though, we gotta give everyone the opportunity to have their questions answered.
That is true.
As well. Jacob, have you watched Last of Us 2? I know you watched the first one.
So I have not. I'm kind of in the camp of just pretend it doesn't exist.
Gotcha.
Based on some of the things that I've heard about where they take it.
Okay.
Because I really loved the first one so much.
Favorite OST album currently?
That's really tough. Okay.
I'm really enjoying going through the Witcher soundtrack. It is helping me write stuff for like a D&D style world.
Oh, awesome.
It's a very good one for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a favorite at the moment. That's just one that's occupying a lot of time specifically for me. But yeah, what about you?
For me, right now is like the one that I've been going to as far as full album. It's Yakuza 0. Like I've even been showing Caleb.
You've been showing me a couple things here.
It's wonderful. But if we're talking a specific track, it would be the opening for the first season of Spice and Wolf. I've been listening to that on repeat for hours and hours on end.
Yeah. Are you going to watch the second MHA movie? It's far better than the first one, but it actually has major anime spoilers and isn't safe to watch until after you've seen season 5. Well, you kind of just answered our question.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to watch it once it's no longer a spoilery thing with regards to future story stuff for the actual, anime. But yeah, thanks for the question. Yeah. Crack question. Oda versus Tolkien. No, Ameju, no. Or what if Oda decides to illustrate the Silmarillion? Oh, you had my curiosity with your memes, but now you have my attention. No, I'm just kidding. Caleb, how is your Souls experience like so far? How do you compare it to the other games you have played? I think that what is really powerfully it's just really well done with Dark Souls specifically is the actual way in which the design of the world incorporates you learning specific things.
Okay.
Or not only learning specific things, but kind of drawing you around in this feeling of that you can go anywhere, but you're going to naturally progress to certain areas until you hit like soft roadblocks. It's that what's that genre of game? It was something that I experienced a little bit in Jedi Knight Fallen Order. I never even finished that game, but the idea of you'd come to an area where you can't progress in this specific spot, and then you go back, do something else. Metroidvania, thank you. Yes.
Okay.
I love it in this game. I absolutely love it. And I'm loving the difficulty leading to moments where you have to like question like, okay, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to adjust? And then once you actually succeed in a struggle, there's this really high feeling that you get afterwards. So
yeah.
So it's really, really good thus far. We got another 1,000 bits coming in from Knights of the Fallen. I am a longtime fan, but I drive a semi, so I just listen when streams start. Knights of the Fallen. Wow. Well,
thank you and
thank you
welcome.
so much. I also have to ask, are you called Knights of the Fallen because of it being maybe short for Knights of the Fallen Empire and you played a bunch of Star Wars The Old Republic? Maybe? Love to find out.
Yeah,
always nice to find people that are potentially still playing Star Wars The Old Republic because I couldn't be bothered to play it. Yep. Okay, you said yeah. All right. That makes sense. I'd love to.
That was a good expansion.
Love to talk to you about that in Discord.
Ori's Metroidvania. Oh yeah, duh. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ori is very much that, where it's like, okay, yeah, you learn a new ability and then you can go to different areas that you couldn't have gotten to before.
Right. But do you get that feeling at some points where you're like, wow, I just was guided by the beauty and the efficiency of the level design?
Not so much that.
Okay.
Not so much that. It's very like clear when it's like, oh, okay, now you're at a place where you learn your new technique that can make you do stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah.
Decky Real, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I saw something that was Jacob related. Jacob, next Attack on Titan chapter out in 4 days. Also, we're really close to the manga being over, right?
We are.
Like tons of people are telling me like, oh my gosh, did you know the Attack on Titan manga is ending? I'm like, no, I had no idea,
I wasn't, like, I was kind of doubting, like, how can that possibly be? Like, to have the manga end that soon? Now I get it.
Red Alchemist, thank you so much for the big question here. It says you won't be able to stick around for the whole podcast. You got to go to the doctor soon. That's totally okay. Yeah, I hope you have a good experience there. But during the earlier Berserk streams, you guys mentioned the potential of more manga streams, and I think you guys should really start dipping your toes into the medium, especially with your recent enjoyment with One Piece and Berserk. I know that I personally and a lot of people wouldn't mind seeing more manga reactions, even if it has to replace an already existing anime slot. So that's the part where it's a little bit interesting. I'm testing out currently the idea of having a second game slot for Dark Souls, particularly because I don't want to have it be a thing where I'm feeling divided once Cyberpunk 2077 comes out. So I'm like, I want to actually like finish Dark Souls. Yeah. But if Dark Souls is one that I'm still playing when Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, I don't know at this point actually whether or not I'll just hop over immediately because I'm loving Dark Souls so much. So we'll see. But I don't know if it would be something that would replace an anime slot, because our schedule is one that's very separated based on whether it's a YouTube related thing or a Twitch related thing.
So it would probably One Piece, we're going to be done with One Piece fairly soon, all things considered, you know, and then we will be, you know, we'll need to come up with manga to replace it.
Yeah. JoJo Part 6 manga isn't going to happen.
Sorry. Yeah, no, definitely not. You got to have JoJo's in its full animated David Productions soundtrack.
Yeah, we've also just gone so far with it in the anime. Why would we stop?
Yeah, now? Exactly.
Perv is asking, you guys said you weren't that much of a gamer before you started streaming yourselves playing them. I wanted to know why weren't much into games before, and what do you think about the new experience? So I think what it primarily was that we didn't play typical games.
Right.
We played primarily PC real-time strategy games, and that was it.
And maybe Mario single-player RPGs.
Well, right, but even then it was like GameCube games. Like what was the single-player RPG that you played first?
Like KOTOR, maybe?
Yeah.
No, Jedi Academy.
But that's not even really that much of an RPG.
No, it's like you have the one decision at the end of do you kill
Yeah. If anything, I would say the RPGs that we played, none of them were open world.
Yeah.
They were all extremely linear. They were almost all Star Wars related things.
Basically.
Like none of them were
anything Star Wars, and we would play it.
We didn't play much Nintendo games because we didn't really have a Nintendo console.
Nope.
Like ever. We played PC RTS games primarily because our dad was very much into old school Age of Empires,
right?
And he pushed it on us. Like he was very much like, I'm going to teach you guys 2 games: chess and Age of Empires,
basically,
because God damn it, this is a strategic household,
right,
and that's the way we do things.
It was a lot of fun doing like LAN parties back when I was like 6 and you were like 10,
right?
And
yeah,
Age of Empires.
Exactly. But there are certain things that you don't learn when you just play PC RTSs, which is, one, the idea of a basic platformer. Like, I think most people our age grew up on some form of Mario thing.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you just didn't play a Mario game growing up. For those of you that did, how much would that change your perspective on video games?
You get 1,300 deaths on Ori 1. That's what you get. You know, like anybody who just watches my playthrough of Ori 1, you'll see what it's like not knowing what a platformer is.
Yeah. Now, we did play Smash Bros, Melee,
right,
and Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yep.
And that's it.
And Bounty Hunter back on the game.
Right. But I'm talking about Mario kind of games that most people played that are like those mainstream kind of games.
Yeah.
That's it. So in terms
really
of
wasn't much.
Most video game kind of stuff, it was like Age of Empires 1, Age of Empires 1, the Rise of Rome expansion, Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 2, the Conquerors expansion, Age of Empires 3, Age of Empires 3 expansions.
Battle for Middle-earth 1, Battle for Middle-earth 2, Battle for Middle-earth 2 expansion.
Yeah.
Battle for Middle-earth 2.
StarCraft 2.
Oh man, the old
Legacy
Total
of the
Annihilation.
The Total Annihilation,
Supreme Commander,
Supreme Commander 2. Like these are all RTSs.
Yep.
We didn't play non-RTSs until MMOs hit our lives.
Yeah,
and even then, MMOs I don't really consider a game. Those are just like black holes of like time sucking and darkness and stuff. They can be a lot of fun, but they're definitely not like classic video games.
And then it was basically just like BioWare, like Mass Effect and KOTOR,
and that was mostly because of KOTOR. Yeah,
right.
So 5D chess with multiverse time travel stream when? I've heard about that, but I don't think so. To be honest, is there literally anything regarding future JoJo parts that you have seen or been spoiled? No. Like JoJo's is one of those things where like we're just not in like certain communities of circulating like a lot of JoJo related stuff. So
I feel like as many memes as there are of JoJo's, it's weirdly self-contained. I feel like if you don't know that the JoJo reference is being made, like there's no art for it or anything, like it's just like, you know, something back where in like YouTube comments and things like that, we wouldn't have recognized it, you know.
Right, like things like the To Be Continued song.
Yeah.
We knew it was a meme, but we didn't know that it was related to JoJo's, even though the song is way older than JoJo's necessarily. Right. It's just a thing of where, that's what probably popularized it.
I saw people saying, what a beautiful Dwang or whatever, and I had no idea it was JoJo.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Big question here from Rami's. Will you read the One Piece manga weekly when you guys get caught up? Viz has the latest three chapters always free and has the exact translation you guys used to read. So no fan translations. That's pretty cool.
That is helpful.
It would be really sad for you to stop when you were like almost 1,000 chapters into a series. If you move to another slot, we can keep doing other manga and read and discuss the latest chapters too. We haven't thought about entirely what a post One Piece volume a week world would look like for things there, but I'm
still holding out that we can dedicate 7 weeks to go through the Silent Voice manga Half Blind. It's a really different experience, but it's really good.
Okay. Let's see. Also, you guys received that copy of Persona 5, but can never play it because you didn't have a PS4. May I recommend Persona 4 Golden, which recently got released on Steam and is a game that's just as good as its predecessor.
I am aware of this.
Yeah, I'm aware of this too. I have a couple people who are huge Persona fans that are like, hey, you know, there's no like necessary entry point into the Persona, you know, franchise. You can just jump in wherever, whenever you want. And this game is available on Steam, so, you know, maybe check it out. And I'm like, oh, we'll see. We'll see. At least on my gaming kind of stuff there, I've already plotted out the next 2 games, including Dark Souls. I am playing Cyberpunk 2077 after Dark Souls. I don't know exactly when, but that's happening.
Reacting to the One Piece movies. Not really. Like
yeah, because it's something where we're already not reacting to the anime.
Exactly. So it wouldn't really make sense to do that. Yeah. You know, I want to watch the 6th one because apparently that's done by Mamoru Hosoda.
Yeah, if anything, we'll watch it and discuss
I'm a big fan of.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. What do you guys plan on doing with ReZero? I believe you both already watched the first season. Will season 2 show up in polls, or will it be something that happens when there's time for it? Short answer is just yes. One of those 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll either show up in polls or show up later. Probably a poll, but yeah, we don't know. We have both seen ReZero season 1, and if anything, it's actually kind of fun that this is coming out now because I think it was about 3 months ago or so, 4 months ago, I started rewatching ReZero season 1, and I have a little bit more appreciation for it now than I did with my kind of initial salty reaction to kind of the way the first season ended. What's Togashi's biggest weakness as a writer? I don't know.
It's his ability to finish stories.
Oh, yeah. What is his biggest strength? I would say his commitment actually to the style of storytelling that he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like
I asked because I have a feeling the answer to both these questions explains why Hunter x Hunter can be somewhat divisive relative to other popular shonen. So maybe that's it. He commits to his style.
Yep. And he doesn't budge on it,
which makes maybe certain things harder for him to write.
Well,
so then it's slower,
too.
And then there's his health issues as well, and maybe also some laziness involved, which I don't know anything to speak of because it's a whole industry that's really intense and competitive there.
But I think it does add a lot to the whole divisiveness angle because since he very much intentionally chooses what his style is going to be, even if it's something that's different than what a lot of other shonen do, for the people that like that, it is like the best thing ever, right? You know, it's very easy for it to be polarizing in that sense because it's different. It's Togashi's own style, right? For the people that don't necessarily like that as much, Togashi doesn't budge on it, you know, so they just won't like it as much.
Yes, Icronia, we are going to watch it's called like
G8.
One Piece G8 or something like that.
We still haven't actually done it.
We haven't actually done it, but we will definitely consume it because it's something that is worthwhile, even if it is filler. So yeah, we will consume it for sure. Have you guys played Cuphead? No, we haven't played it. You'd like to see us play it? I don't necessarily have a lot of interest in playing Cuphead. I already kind of know the joke or the reason why a lot of people play Cuphead, so it's more of like,
Gotcha.
It would have been fun if maybe we didn't know.
I don't even know what it is.
Okay, well maybe you can check it out. I don't want to say anything then. So I take it you've never played a Final Fantasy as well. Yeah, never played a Final Fantasy. Nope. My first JRPG ever was Tales of Berseria. I've never really... I didn't even know how much Tales of Berseria was a subversion of expectations for JRPGs in general.
I will say, though, I really want to check out Final Fantasy IX at some point. I watched an AMV for it like years ago, and I think I'm really going to like it.
One Piece Weekly is much more frustrating to read than a volume.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
I'm sure. G8 for director slot. Huh.
No.
Huh. What is this? Siesta Song. Have either of you looked through some MHA chapters that have already been animated? I know Studio Bones does a fine job, but those manga panels can really hit different. So no, we haven't seen chapters, but people have sent us safe manga specific panels,
like Shigaraki shots, or like that was a really popular one back in season 1 because hands, and he really likes to draw them and draw them well.
If I explain the joke, it spoils Jacob a little bit with regards to Cuphead. I don't want to I don't want to say too much about it, just in case. How can I vote for a show? If a show comes up on a poll on our Patreon and you're a $1 patron or more, you get the ability to vote on a show.
Now the thing is, though, is that because there's early access, there's that, but then also by the time the final episode comes out on early access, the pool will be done. So it will be 2 to 3 weeks or so before the final episode comes out on YouTube.
Right. And yes, we have heard of Tsukigakure. It's one of those shows that just has probably very little chance of actually winning in a poll. So it's hard to justify putting it on there unless it actually has a shot with that poll, which segues pretty nicely into this question here. Are there shows that don't get majority of votes in polls but you guys would love to react to? Yes, definitely. Do you plan to do some kind of less popularity shows poll? Well, that's the thing. I'd say most of our polls in general are, for the most part, pretty less popular shows, relatively speaking, and that's something that needs to be emphasized.
Because whenever we do a poll, we'll want it to be sort of like thematically, tied together.
If I can figure out a way to make it like that.
Right. But then also try and make it be balanced so that way it's not just like I guess we're automatically doing this show kind of a thing.
And again, as balanced as we can make it while being blind to everything. So we are more doing this based on the community response when those shows are mentioned or shilled or brought up. So
it's a very weird guessing game.
It's a very weird guessing game. So sometimes we'll be like, pretty decent balance. And other times it's like, well, balance went out the window that time.
Or there will be that one show that doesn't necessarily fit thematically. Like Noragami, it's like, maybe it's not that much of a school anime. I will still hold, though, that as far as balance for that poll went, it was decently well balanced.
Blind Man V2 with 100 bits. Cannot wait for tomorrow, the One Piece stream. Took forever, but finally caught up. Will you keep reading the One Piece volumes as they come out? Hopefully.
Yeah, I think we're a bit addicted at this point.
Yeah, we're a bit stuck on it. Yeah. Super Mono Man with 100 bits. At one point, you guys were talking about potentially doing Western cartoon reactions at some point in the future. Is that still in the cards eventually? So recently there was a bit of a development with that. One of the most popularly requested Western cartoon shows for reactions, Gravity Falls, we just watched on our own time with one of our brothers, who it's his favorite show of all time.
Yep.
And he was just like, hey, it doesn't look like you guys are really going to react to this. And I want to hang out with you guys. So would you be willing to watch the show with me? And we were like, yeah, sure. So we watched the whole thing with him. Wonderful. Loved it.
So good.
So if anything, it made me realize that maybe we need to take a little bit more seriously some of the shills that are made with regards to Western cartoons.
Right.
Because Gravity Falls was just right up our alley. It was so good. I went like crazy trying to decode every single little thing I could find, and there were tons of things I still missed before the show was actually finished.
I absolutely love the romantic subplot that could never work out thing in the coming of age story with Wendy and Dipper. That was awesome. It was fantastic.
Yeah. What do you think about One Piece's art style? Do you think it's one of the reasons it didn't take off in the West compared to Naruto and Bleach?
I definitely think so.
I don't know. I think One Piece in general has a couple things going for it that don't fit maybe certain kind of power fantasies with regards to those other two shonen. But I don't know.
Like, I don't know about...
I don't know too much about Naruto specifically to be able to kind of draw a comparison there.
Sure, the 4Kids dub didn't help.
Oh, like, that's the thing. It's almost always the way it's packaged specifically. But that's something that's not within the content. That's the distribution method.
I will say, though, for myself, like, before I started to realize that, yeah, shonen and longer shonen can still be really good.
Yeah.
It was almost entirely a combination of it's too long and art style looks weird. You know, like those two put together with, in addition to not having someone that was like dedicated showing it to me, you know, I was just never going to look at it. Like, so.
Got 100 bits from Booyak here. Hey, Caleb, are you sure you aren't mixing Cuphead with something else? No, I'm not. People play it either because they love old school Disney style art style and animation. Yep, I'm aware of that. Or because they like difficult platformers. Yep. Sometimes both. I'm not aware of any joke. The joke is not a joke in the typical sense of a joke. So that's why I'm not.
Gotcha.
That's why I'm being intentionally
You're trying to
vague.
keep it so that I can't actually figure out what the situation is.
Yeah, this is a part of the way in which, like, you remember when Jacob would just have poker face of a god with Attack on Titan, like half-blind reactions and stuff.
No, don't remember.
Yeah, he has no idea what that is.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened at all. Yeah. This is my bad misdirection so that I can keep Jacob in the dark about a specific thing.
You gotta throw those out there. Yeah.
So for someone that's in the know, like you guys, you're like, what he's saying doesn't make sense. I'm like, yes, that's intentional because I don't want to give anything away at all. Yeah, Jacob is amazing at poker faces. It's unreal how good he is.
Yes, until there's a reason for me to let the poker face drop.
Oh, that's actually a really hardcore question, CC. If YouTube ever goes wrong, how would you guys explain the big open gap in your resumes during a job interview? Very easily. Like, are you kidding me?
Entrepreneur startup.
Yeah. Well, not even that. Like, just basically saying that I was running a YouTube channel with my brother,
an online web content
and
business,
and I would give them whatever details they'd want. But
an online web video production business.
yeah, it's not like we don't have backups of everything and all that. So please discuss Steven Universe or Over the Garden Wall, Rick and Morty, BoJack Horseman.
BoJack Horseman is one that
BoJack Horseman is probably the one that I'm most excited for, and then Over the Garden Wall.
I've heard very little about Over the Garden Wall.
Over the Garden Wall is one that I have this very, very, like, kind of weirdly close friend specifically over the areas of animation. We never hang out. We never really spend a lot of time together. But anytime we do, it's specifically talking about the current animated shows that we're watching. And he swears by Over the Garden Wall. Wow. And I have like the utmost respect for his opinion on anything with regards to animated shows and stuff.
Cool.
Like yeah, he swears by that. What's your opinion on the elitist stigma the anime community associates with masterpiece shows like Legends of Galactic Heroes, Monster, Ping Pong, etc.? I feel like this is a topic of a podcast within itself.
Sure.
Because in some ways, I'm guilty of that at points. Like, I have felt myself at times,
me too, yeah.
like, totally get into the
Yeah.
Like focused bit of but you gotta watch this show.
Someone says they like Sword Art Online and you laugh, like
yeah, that's basically the perfect easy example of it. I think we all get into this at points, and you don't necessarily know that you're doing it because
and you might not even want to do it.
No, of course not. I think if anything, all of us are poor at communication in some area of our lives. And a lot of us, because we're really passionate about anime, it's in a sub facet of anime discussion and stuff. So like, if you're shilling anime, for instance, you don't need to necessarily make a comparison to another show in order to shill the show that you like. That's like an easy way to basically avoid some aspects of elitism, or elitist stigma that this person has brought up there. I would say, if anything, also just remembering that like it's like a journey that people go on, with anime.
Yeah.
And everyone has opinions and stuff, but like yours isn't necessarily any special. Mine isn't necessarily any special. And I think the other thing is realizing that everything we say is opinion based. If ever you start to notice that everything that you're saying starts to come from a place of, I'm stating it as a fact. Even if you're not intending to state it as a fact, it can come across that way. So yeah, I think that's all. There's a whole bunch of discussion that can come from that, though.
So like, there was a time when my thought process, what I preoccupied myself with, was just the latest Bleach AMV that I saw with Breaking Benjamin, or Skillet, or Linkin Park or something, right? And what's the Bankai of one of the captains, right?
Yeah.
That was basically it, right?
Yeah.
I've gone to the point where it's like, all right, it doesn't make me cry, it's worthless. Like it's a worthless show, it's garbage, you shouldn't bother with it, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's all necessary in order to get to the point, yes, where you reach the domestic girlfriend, the kill, the point where you're like, you know what? This is all just opinions anyways.
I just like what I like,
I like what I like, and my opinion is that this garbage fire dumpster heap is actually rather wonderful and has some quality to it.
And even if it doesn't actually have any, objective quality to it,
I beg to differ.
You're enjoying it,
but
same
God
way.
Damn it, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You guys need to watch High School Girl. It's a very cute and funny romance with the video game frame. Video games frame. Oh, interesting. Okay, thanks for the heads up. I hadn't heard about that one. Conspiracy theory: is your recent tweet about buying a drink and running shoes a subtle hint about doing Run with the Wind reaction? No, it's a subtle sign of my mental health being something that can just deteriorate at any given moment, and I need to take care of myself. How would you rank MHA Season 4 compared to the other seasons? I don't know, because it has some of my favorite things in it, and also I feel like it's a weirdly divided season in that it has a self-contained kind of world-building establishment story that's foundation for other stuff, and then the second half stuff has some like weirdly like really good stuff and some things that could be seen as like kind of oddly or paced. So I don't know really.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where on the one hand, MHA Season 4 did a lot of stuff that I was really happy that they did, right? It didn't hit any like, well, it hit some pretty crazy high moments, but not on the realm of like United States of Smash or 210, right?
Yeah.
But then there were also things in there that made me think, yeah, I think MHA might, like, I don't think it will necessarily have to hit those highs again.
Gotcha. Jacob, what's been the biggest moment of having to bite your tongue during Attack on Titan discussions? So the way you can make this question actually something you can answer is what's something where it's been entirely spoiler resolved, where it's a moment where, something where you really had to bite your tongue, but you can now just tell me the thing because I already know about, the thing you're having to bite your tongue about.
I'm not sure if I can remember like an exact detail, but a lot of the times when it would involve theorizing about stuff that would happen in the future pertaining to world building things, and I needed to make sure that basically I was bouncing off of your theorizing for the things that shouldn't be spoiler territory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because on the surface, there's nothing there that would necessarily be spoilers.
Gotcha.
But I would have to do all kinds of things that I don't want to get into details now in order to make sure that I could properly theorize with you and that you wouldn't realize that we were potentially dancing dangerously close to very spoiler territory.
I remember that being a thing with the Ymir backstory.
That just blindsided me because it wasn't supposed to be there.
They told us so much about the outside world in that episode.
Oh my god!
Like that's probably why in some ways I have
actually
one of those.
That probably would be it. Like surrounding that whole bit because it tells you almost everything about the reveal in the basement.
Yeah, like I remember going through season 2 on rewatch and was realizing that my enjoyment of season 2 initially was better the first time because I was so in depth into the theorizing. But now that I know everything, it's kind of that thing of like, oh, season 2 was good, but in some ways I might have been overvaluing it because of how much excitement I had around the stuff that I felt like they were foreshadowing. And that the actual like stuff in certain things of the first season and in some ways the first half of season 3 might have just been better done in certain parts there. But there are certain moments I remember in the reactions and the viewings of season 2 that I just remember having this flutter inside me of just excitement jumping onto like little things that might have been, really good discussion opportunities. If any of you guys had a wife and she'd call during the stream, would you tell her, "Not now, I'm working, honey"?
We would have had this conversation before that.
Well, no, it might accidentally happen.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I'd try to maybe ham it up a little bit for the stream, but I think I would probably be a little bit boring and literally just be like, "Hold on, guys, I'm gonna need to, take a phone call." And because, Jacob, you would man the stream, and we've seen what happens when Jacob gets alone on stream.
That Joseph Joestar mousepad has all sorts of things get done to it, but I think it would be something where there would be as a serious answer to the question, there'd be a conversation about that beforehand with the significant others to be like, "Hey, this is the situation. The streams need to not be interrupted." But then at the same time, if knowing that they still call, it's like.
It might be really important.
This might be like an emergency or something.
Exactly, yeah. I'll add cyberpunk shows to that discussion shows like Ergo Proxy and Technolize that are poorly received or lacks popularity. Okay, Khalid, thanks for that, yeah.
Yeah, those two shows are ones that definitely seem to go hand in hand whenever I hear about them.
Oh my god. Beastar Season 2, Dr. Stone Season 2, potentially Attack on Titan Season 4, and Promise Neverland Season 2. That's gonna be a hell of a Patreon replacement poll.
Well, there's no way in hell that Attack on Titan Season 4 is going on a poll.
No, Attack on Titan Season 4 gets very premium privilege and goes immediately to...
I am not waiting on that shit. Like, we are watching that.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Yu Yu Hakusho? No, we have not, but we have one of our VIP patrons that is a notorious shiller of it and is pushing with dedication, with like shonen protagonist determination to make sure that it gets reacted to. Fox Sauce, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Do you guys ever feel like not watching an anime some days while still having to record a video? How does watching anime as a job change the experience at all?
This is really interesting.
This is a great question because we do not record every single day.
No.
We have bad days.
Mm-hmm.
So there are times where we'll have a dispute. One of us will be emotionally just distraught.
Other life stuff will
just happen and we'll just stop recording.
Yep.
We'll just stop recording.
Yeah.
And just take a day off for ourselves to make sure that we're coming at this with the right mindset.
And that's why we make sure to record ahead.
And that's why we make sure to record plenty ahead so that we have the capacity to do that.
Yep.
So
the other thing...
I was just going to say, the idea of watching anime as a job changed the experience, though.
It does change it.
It does change it.
Yeah, because well, for one of the ways that it changed it a lot for me is my hobbies... Over the course of my life, the 3 biggest hobbies that I've had have been anime, writing, and D&D.
Yeah.
Right? D&D is a weird one because since it's it's a big commitment, so it can at times not feel like a relaxation thing.
Sure.
You know? Writing, well, ended up doing battle lines and things like that. So it took on, it stopped being a hobby, right?
Right.
And then anime also stopped being a hobby. So there was a lot of points where I was like, what do I do to actually like have fun?
Yep.
Like, how do I do
like,
that?
Like basically you're free to basically just do something at leisure.
Right.
It's a pleasure thing only.
Right. Because I still love anime.
Oh my God.
I don't like the idea of watching it in my free time anymore.
Right.
Because that's something that I do for work. It would end up still feeling like work, even if I'm having a ton of fun with it, you know?
Right.
And so it changes. You still love it, but it takes on a different form.
Like, here's an example of something where I think having so many different genres of anime we're watching is really important.
Oh,
because
sure.
when Daily Lives of High School Boys is one that you chose, I don't think I was in a very positive mental state at the time.
You chose that one.
Oh, I chose that one?
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's why I chose it.
Right,
yes,
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't know how funny it would be, though. So as I chose it, I was like, okay, I want a little bit more of a crazy, silly positivity in this. Oh my God, the bits. Okay, we'll get to your thing in a second here. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
But Daily Lives of High School Boys had a couple episodes that I remember feeling tears well up just about how much fun the silliness of it was. And that's something that, because more of the anime that we were watching previously weren't of that style. Like, you remember the Welcome to the NHKs, the Plastic Memories, there were a couple around that time that were really heavy and taxing, and I wasn't necessarily prepared for every single episode in the right way. So yeah.
That's actually one of the big reasons why I chose Asobi Asobase as the replacement, because we haven't really been getting like much dedicated comedies. Like Daily Lives of High School Boys was a really cool breath of fresh air. But
let's get to these bits here as well. HD Warriors 7788. Thank you so much for the 2,700 bits. What are your thoughts on Legend of Korra? I personally like it more than Avatar: The Last Airbender, especially because of the villains and because I love mafia movies. I love the parts with the mob and gangs, but I understand the flaws of the show. I think you guys are the smartest reactors in YouTube. Listening to your discussions give me more brain cells. Keep up the good work. Wow,
thank you.
Well, thank
so
you
much.
Thank you very much for the kindness.
The bits.
I could definitely point you to some people that are definitely smarter. but that being said, Legend of Korra is one of those shows that I followed in the community. In the same way that RWBY has that like attachment to me, like specifically because of being in the midst of it when it was coming out with the community. Legend of Korra is that. I watched the absolute shit slog that Legend of Korra went through after season 1. Even a little bit before season 1. I don't know. Yeah, I will get to the bits that I missed as well. There was 100 bits, yes, from Vuyak that we missed. We'll get those. Don't worry. Legend of Korra is one that I feel for, because there are moments where it just, it was painful to watch how the show is being handled. And that stuff weighed on the creators in ways that they did not necessarily express, but you could feel it. You could feel it.
I mean, they almost had a fourth wall breaking moment of having one of the characters have the same experience and needing to deal with it.
Yep. You could definitely tell that this was something that they very much needed to finish in a way that they would be satisfied with. And they kept losing that opportunity to do it.
Right, because it's make more, but only a little bit more.
And there are moments in Legend of Korra that were really, really well done. Really well done. Also, Studio Mir. Right. Also, Studio Mir, say what you will about the story, I think no one really has anything like really bad to say about Studio Mir. The actual visual work that Studio Mir did, there was that part where Studio Pierrot took over for a little bit of season 2.
God, that was so bad.
That was painful. Because we're used to Avatar: The Last Airbender animation quality, but Studio Mir, which was formed, I believe, out of a lot of the people that were working on parts of the Avatar: The Last Airbender finale and a couple of other episodes. Then formed this studio in South Korea, I believe, and Studio Mirror just killed it at multiple really, really intensively well done animated moments across books 1 through 4 of Legend of Korra. So my thoughts on it, I really appreciated it. And yet I can definitely say that I am wary to go at length into discussing the objective merits that the show has, because it's just a long discussion.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a very long answer there.
But one of the other things on the previous question, though, that I wanted to bring up was that in addition to taking the days off when we need them, one of the things that we also do whenever we're watching a set of shows, we'll sometimes skip around in the order of when we watch particular episodes.
Yes, that's true.
That can happen when we're, say, pushed for time, like for this tends to be a discussion heavy show or whatever, but also with the energy levels of the shows. We're watching a bunch of shows that tend to be like really sad and heavy or depressing or something like that, but then we have like a really positive show. Oftentimes we'll use that as a pick-me-up. Kill la Kill and Haikyuu were that for a long time, where it was like, oh, we're having a bad day, let's watch Haikyuu.
Vuya, cool. We got to your bits finally. 100 bits. Is a live action TV reaction slot ever coming? I'm asking because I'd like to see your reactions to Breaking Bad prequel called Better Call Saul. It's as good as Breaking Bad, and it might even surpass it, depending on how it ends next year. Okay, so Vuyek, the main reason actually why, in my opinion, most people do live action slots eventually with regards to their reaction channels or stuff like that is because the US is much fairer with copyright.
Oh, yeah.
There is usually an actual discussion that you can have with a person if you have a legitimate dispute where the company is like, no, you can't do this. You dispute it and they go, again, no, you can't do this. If it's a Japanese copyright situation and stuff like that, that's where the whole thing.
Of fair use.
Well, not only that, because it's a law thing, but I'm saying there's no discussion that can be had. It just stops right there. If you get the copyright thing, you dispute it, and then they say no again, you're done. You can't do anything else. Like this is where I would say a lot of people can get into scary territory, is if they then dispute the result of the dispute, those companies can get vindictive and they'll come after you. If it's a live action thing, though, you dispute it, they say no, you can then get into sometimes an actual discussion with the people there and say, I totally get it. We'd like to do a review that fits within your parameters. What are you okay with? And because also live action shows can tend to be longer per episode, because you're reducing it to maybe as little as like 7 minutes per episode.
Right, that's more a trailer of the episode.
Exactly.
Almost,
that's something where they feel like it's much more transformative once you then add things like your discussion and then how you edit it specifically. So good questions, but we're a bit behind on questions here, so let's make sure we get them here. Blind Man V2, thank you so much for the tier 1 gifted sub. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Having said that, does that mean you bros don't really watch anime on your own time? Not really as much, no.
Yeah,
we do watch some, but not really as much.
There were a few shows that I watched way back in the early days of the channel that were like the more obscure ones and whatnot. And then it was like, oh, no, there actually ends up being interest to watch those shows. All right, let's stop doing that.
Right. Shy, we definitely did watch a bunch of Haikyuu in advance to get ready for the convention that we went to that one year, YouTube is a really unstable job, both in a positive and a negative way. Are you guys able to see where you are in 5 to 10 years from now? And depending on the answer, how does that make you feel? I feel like this is one that is probably the worst part about YouTube. Like this is just what all YouTubers, I think, have to kind of just accept a little bit, is you have no idea where you're going to be 5 to 10 years from now with regards to YouTube.
No clue.
And that is sometimes quite terrifying. But I would say that if you're doing YouTube alone, that's 100 times more terrifying. I have had to talk to creators.
Yes, absolutely.
I have had to talk to creators and just be like, I'm here for you. I know you're going through hell right now. It's scary. I get it. Just shit just hits the fan. You're just in the middle of it.
Yep.
And you're not thinking about 5 to 10 years from now. You're thinking 1 to 2 months from now.
Right.
Like, that's how panicky these people can end up dealing with, because YouTube just can make things really scary all of a sudden.
Like,
but Jacob and I are able to rely on each other at points to where it's something that it's still scary, but we're able to then talk through it, process it, and then also get outside help as well.
Right. One of my first job growing up was this summer job in Eastern Washington. Great place. And it was like a mom and pop kind of shop, right? And the owners were really nice. They were like second set of grandparents for us.
Oh, I love them. They're so cool.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
And they would often talk to us and try and sort of like take us under their wings, mentor us, whatever. And the
Sweet people.
Really sweet people. And the husband would oftentimes talk about the business side of things, running a business and what it was like, and and things like that. And he would talk about how it's just this incredibly stressful thing where you don't know necessarily what's going to happen and things like that. And you have to just get to the point where you can deal with it. Right. Yep. And that's for like a traditional, very successful, established setup.
Mom and pa, kind of, brick and mortar,
right.
owning land and having an opening closing time and employees, all this stuff that traditional stuff goes with.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, in a lot of cases, that makes it harder on them than the stuff that we have to do. But then in the cases of things like YouTube and the just how you have no idea what's going to happen in the future, that's like even more so for us, I feel like. And it is very stressful, but at the same time you get to a point where you're kind of just used to it. There's parts of me where I'm like, am I just going to go bald eventually from just that being a way of life,
anxiety or stress,
right? Yeah, anxiety and stress and things like that.
Like, I think this is also part of the thing that a lot of people don't necessarily know how to handle as well, but it gets magnified unintentionally by actually the community. So what happens is YouTuber hits a good streak. Suddenly there's an influx of viewers that then expect the good streak of YouTube content. The YouTube content doesn't maintain the good streak. It can get worse or it can get better. It's never going to be exactly the same.
Yep.
The viewers then start requesting things of the person because they're excited to have more stuff like the good streak.
Right.
The YouTuber then gets caught into this cycle of where they realize their own inadequacies in being able to deliver necessarily the thing that might have been just a lightning in the bottle, one hit wonder thing.
Because they're a person.
Because they're a person. Exactly. Yeah. But then because people don't see them as a person, but as a YouTuber, that missed expectations cycle starts to spiral out of control, and then they don't properly adjust their own mental health to be able to be ready for failure or success. Right. And then they burn out and it gets really crazy.
And that's why the fact that there's two of us makes this so much better. Because
so much better.
I cannot imagine, I don't understand how the people that just do it like on their onesie, how they do it.
Yeah, I think if anything, they all have really intense support systems.
Yeah, like close friends that are also YouTubers, maybe.
Where they're like having weekly panic attacks. I swear to you, that is probably how any YouTuber above like a certain level of part-time investment into it is doing. Just especially literally weekly panic attacks.
Well, and especially for the ones that are mostly making their money off of YouTube with like ads and things like that, because for us at the very least we have Patreon, which is a bit more consistent, right?
Sure.
But like if it was something where it's will this video be as popular and do as well and things like that, and that's what your livelihood is based off of, that can get scary.
Yeah. All right, we've got a lot of questions to get to, so let's go through these kind of rapid fire. So in your opinion, what sort of themes would you love to see in a new Avatar series?
Fun.
Yeah, I think if anything, going back to fun would be something that would be really cool to have with Avatar. And specifically, if you want to keep going in more in the modern direction, having it be something where it's about how drone-like a lot of society has become.
Sure.
And the Avatar is basically bringing back that whimsical spiritual aspect that was very much there in the character of Aang. and then you contrast it with how dead inside so many other people are in the world around them. I think there's a lot of potential there. It might be a bit too, bummer kind of a show thing there, but if the Avatar is just super effective in bringing that about, I could see that being really good. Both of you talked about how you needed more lighthearted shows or more shows from different genres. Let me recommend you a genre this channel hasn't explored a lot. It is the Iaishike shows. Iaishike means healing type and is more exploratory and more healing type of slice of life shows. I would recommend Girls Last Tour, one of the best shows I have watched. We have a couple of them that actually I think have been in polls.
Yeah, Girls Last Tour is one of them.
Yeah, and there was another one. I think it was Yoru Camp.
Yes.
Yoru Camp is kind of similar to that, but thanks for the recommendation.
Also, I don't know if Sweetness and Lightning would almost kind of fit into that.
I think based on what you've told me, yeah.
It definitely feels like that, but I don't know if it technically falls under that genre.
Cherokee Jack, have either of you watched Dark on Netflix? No, but I know about it. It is live action series science fiction. I think you would really enjoy it due to how much it rewards analysis. Okay. Yeah, I think I would definitely like it. Yeah. Marim. Speaking of, what are some expectations for Haikyuu in the future now that you know that the manga is over, as well as this series is extra special to me? I can't wait for it to be back. I'm so excited for it to be back.
Basically.
Yeah, I love everything about Haikyuu in just every way, in a nonsensical, over-the-top, passionate kind of way. So my expectations are just give me everything, give me all the characters, make it be as slow as possible, whatever. I don't care. I want more Haikyuu.
Are we planning on reacting to The Mandalorian Season 2 when it happens? Enjoyed your reactions and discussions when you went into the lore, so I'm curious. Thank you, Warforged Games.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to.
Yeah, I definitely want to as well. I think it's more of a thing of where if we do it, do we do it live? Do we change up a little bit of the editing style? Because I remember The Mandalorian was one that we edited.
No, we got one of our editors.
Oh, we did get okay.
But it was something where the episodes were irregularly length, which did make it a bit complicated.
Yes. Also, I think we got some copyright issues with it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh.
So maybe if anything, I'd want to see if we could find a way to have it be actually available to watch on YouTube. But we'll see. Yeah, I know. I want to watch Run with the Wind too. Ham Hands. Legend of the Galactic Heroes is my favorite anime and weirdly the most underwatched classics. I'm so happy you are deep into the show, and Jacob, you haven't reached my favorite opening song yet. Just my opinion, though.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
the openings in that show are so good. I love English openings.
Yeah. Since you've been watching the Space Dandy dub, loving it by the way, would you be open to watching other shows with notoriously good dubs in the future? My short list for good dubs is Black Butler, Nana, and Death Note. Well, we've both seen Death Note. I haven't seen Black Butler.
I actually watched a couple episodes of Nana way back when.
Oh, okay.
And I really liked what I saw. Okay. I didn't know that it had a good dub. That's good to know.
Yeah, if anything, we're on the lookout for shows with great dubs. And if anything, we want to put them more in the same polls so that we don't have too much of a sub versus dub debate going on in polls in general. Will you watch or react to the Kishibe Rohan OVAs, the Demon Slayer movie trailers, or the Critical Role animated series?
Okay.
No, because we don't usually do trailer reactions that much anymore. And Critical Role animated series,
not the pilot. So
okay,
but we're definitely watching.
I'm definitely watching it. It's just a question of whether
we've got to react to it.
I think we have to.
We have to.
Yeah. Just want to say thanks for the anime recommendations video you made way back. Oh my god, that's such an old one. We need to update that and do another anime recommendations video. I watched the original Steins Gate because of it a couple of months ago, and I loved it.
Good.
Yeah, that's good. It was an anime that left me with an empty feeling when I finished it. Definitely was a nice watch and one of my favorite anime. Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, getting people into really good anime that you love is a wonderful feeling.
Oh, Perv was talking about the whole YouTubers thing. Yeah, maybe that's why a lot of YouTubers make friends with other YouTubers exclusively. I do think this is somewhat related to the idea of they understand the struggle, quote unquote. I think it's also because there's this feeling of safety with regards to just letting other YouTubers know I just have had a really just bad day. And you don't have to explain why. I think maybe it's getting better nowadays. I see a lot of people just letting their communities know, today's a rough day. Yeah. But I know a lot of times communities are like, that's actually something I want to hear about, but I don't want to hear about it every time. They're like, I don't want to hear about it like
right
when it's really bad, but I don't want to hear it when you're
right.
Like
they want to hear about it enough so that they can know, oh, you can tell us anything,
right?
But we don't actually want you to tell us everything.
And I think that YouTubers kind of are aware of that, where it's like, how many times can I actually let my community know I'm not doing well?
Yeah.
And they're almost a bit strategic about when they share those kinds of things.
Also, I think the whole hang out with other YouTubers thing, this is a sort of a different angle of the weirdness sometimes of being in YouTube. But people can start to treat you different when they know you're on YouTube. Because it's a thing that, you know, doesn't happen very often and things like that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's also something where you don't have to worry about people treating you any different if they're also YouTubers, because
that's true.
You know,
sometimes actually you can get into problems where it's even worse. Also,
with YouTubers, because then it's like, hey, let me try and whatever,
whatever. No, we haven't watched Gundam Thunderbolt. Have you two seen the last Clone Wars season as of yet?
No.
I have. Yeah.
That's right. You watched it without me, you bastard.
Well, I told you eventually.
I think you told me when you had finished watching it. You were like, by the way, I marathoned the last season of Clone Wars.
Sorry.
And I was like, so...
But the thing is, I still haven't gotten you to actually just watch the full Clone Wars show, because you're like, I'm like, I don't need
to watch the full Clone Wars
No, but that's the thing. I still haven't shown you the final stuff of season 5. The Obi-Wan mini art.
I saw the final stuff. Oh no, wait, no, not season 5. I saw season 6.
Yeah. So I have plenty to show you still about that show. So yeah. Hold on, missed a couple things there. Ever thought of a special One Piece stream reacting to the openings? No, we're probably not going to do that. After tomorrow's stream, you guys will be safe up to opening 11. I feel like they're a big part of the experience. I've been watching and reading One Piece for 12 years now, and I still have some of them on my playlist. I think that is very much something, though, that needs to be understood, that it's more of something that is a part of the fact that if you've been watching the anime for 12 years, it makes sense that those One Pieces, those OPs are a part of the experience. But to us who haven't been on the journey for 10 years or 15 years or something, it's not necessarily something where we're really,
watching scenes in a dub for One Piece. It's something where, on the one hand, I'll be like, oh yeah, this is really cool, with the music and things like that and whatnot. But because, say, I don't recognize the voices, that's not what I think of when I think of the characters, Yeah. A lot of the time, I know I'm not getting the same experience as a bunch of other people when they see it, because there's all this association with those voices and things like that.
Yeah. Are you guys going to watch any other long shonen like Gintama, Magi, or Hitman Reborn? I
see you trying to slip Gintama in there.
Yeah, well, Gintama's right at the front, too.
Right.
I have talked with a lot of people about Gintama. It's one of those shows that it's so long, specifically, that I don't want to make any promises with regards to anything like that at all. So, short answer is I'm not going to answer that question.
Yeah.
Damn, should have done a new anime recommendations bit at the start of the whole virus. Yeah, probably, yeah. What shows are you the most excited about the next season for? What's coming out in the next season?
The next season.
Is that the summer?
No, we're technically in summer.
No, wait. What?
I saw a notification
because did summer just started, or
anime?
Did summer then just start?
I think summer just started.
Okay, then the next season would be fall.
Fall, yeah. So fall. I don't even know what's.
No. I'm talking about anime seasons aren't done in the same way that the actual calendar seasons are. Like the winter season is the first season of the anime year.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Fall is the last one. That's why I'm mentioning that. I don't know which one it is. So next is fall. Okay, gotcha. Notice a lot on analysis. You focus a lot on characters. Do you think there's any reason why that aspect pulls you so hard? It's not where most of my critical thinking ends up going, so I'm curious.
So here's why it is for me. With most any other story and things like that, you can almost anytime duplicate a story when it comes to the plot, the world, the things like that, right? Because now it might be obvious that it is being copied, right? But you can still do it. You really can't do that with characters. The character might be a clone of another character. There are plenty of examples of those.
Right.
But unless you're going for like just another piece of bread, you know, like it's going to have its own life to it that is not duplicatable.
Yeah, I think it's basically the equivalent of art. A character a character has an objective foundation to it, in that authorial intent and what the character actually is. But I'd say one of the things, and the reason why you could get near infinite discussion on a character, is in some ways the fact that you can go rogue. You don't necessarily have just the authorial intent. You have the unintentional things that end up maybe correlating to something that is relevant. So it's not that necessarily the character is super deep, but this is why I think fan fiction exists in a lot of ways, is that people look at a specific glance between, you know, Oikawa and Iwaizumi, and suddenly, you know, there's all this extra meaning in that. Yeah, like fucking, you know. Well, so I think that it's in some ways something where eventually the world is solved. It's done. You don't have any more to get into with a specific thing, unless you're going into kind of the philosophical angle. But with characters, I think you could go almost infinite with the discussion, especially if the character is pretty multidimensional.
One of the other things that I think, this is the last thing I have to say on the whole character side of things, but when you're making a story, right, there's a point where you're making it and you can have it be anything, right? Because you're literally just making it out of nothing, right?
Yeah.
And you build the world and the characters and the plot and things like that. And then there are times when you have things that happen in the plot or in the world, and one begets another, right? There's a very clear genesis and lineage and things that happen as a result of other things that happened, and you can't, once you start creating things, you can't really change it too much. Characters are in this weird angle where, on the one hand, once you set up a character and you have them start to grow, certain other things that you may have wanted to do with a character at the beginning and of the creation of that character as an idea, you can't do anymore. Or if you do them, it won't really feel right? Sure. It'll feel off. But at the same time, characters, because they're people, they are supposed to surprise you, right? But in ways where it surprises you and then you're like, oh, no, I get it. That makes sense, right?
Right. So you should, on retrospect, be able to understand and explain how a character got here, even if in the moment they surprise you because people are unpredictable.
Right. So, and that's also why I generally don't like sort of retcon perspectives that change a character, because they still have to be consistent on rewatch with that future foresight stuff that you have.
Right. Are your Berserk reactions missing or just not on YouTube? We don't have all of our Berserk manga reactions saved, but almost all of them are on our VOD channel. If you type in #VOD on Twitch here, it'll show up there. Dr. Women Respecter with the 500 bits. Thank you so much. Have you guys heard of Great Pretender? No, I have not. Have you?
I have. Where did I hear about it?
It's a new witch show that's really diverse with an amazing aesthetic. Would recommend when the entire show comes on Japanese Netflix. One of the best things I've seen in a long time. Okay, cool. So a new show. Thank you for passing that on.
Yeah.
Super Monoman with the 100 bits. It seems like you've decided not to do it for reactions, but I love the English dub of Fruits Basket, and I think it's great even if a lot of people don't. Wish you'd react to it that way, even if it's a little selfish, because it's how I experienced it. Is there a more detailed reason for why you changed it to sub on the poll besides what you already said? Because when we put certain shows in the dub versus having it in sub, there was a lot of negative backlash we got because we were seemingly arbitrarily choosing one show over the other to be sub versus dub. And then it's like, but if you're blind, like, why not just choose the one that's objectively the best one? And that's, I think, really, that's something, again, that I'd say very, very much simplifying the discussion. It was more about the idea of, like, maybe you should do a little bit more analysis to be able to draw a conclusion based on the merits of both the sub and the dub. Not saying like it's sub better or dub better, because that's not at all what it was, but that there needs to be a little bit more thought put into it when you just choose immediately whether or not something's going to be a sub or a dub, because then it also influences how people vote quite a bit on one show versus the other.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but on that one, wasn't it also something where we weren't entirely sure? We were like, wait, do people actually, like, do most people prefer the dub or the sub, you know, for this show? Because there are certain shows where it's like, you need to watch it in the dub. Like you got it. But then there are some where it's like, you could, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it was something like that, though. I don't think you've mentioned any movie yet. Have you watched some recently, Kappa?
Movies.
Like the Konosuba movie.
Watched the Konosuba movie. We still haven't gone back and finished.
There's no theaters. There's no theaters. You know, so we haven't been watching any movies there.
We also don't actually have a TV set up in the new place. So,
so
you know,
I don't know. Yeah. Huh. For news about SOS reaction to Gintama, see the Decorated Defender video on the subject. Oh my gosh. Have you heard of a manga called Act Age? It's a wonderful story about a really good natural-born actress starting her career. It dives into the struggles.
I have not heard of that one, but I am all about hearing about like obscure manga that have really cool premises and stuff. I still want to check out Way of the House Husband.
Speaking of One Piece, have you ever listened to the soundtrack? Because there's an amazing track named Mother Sea for whenever a sad moment happens.
I haven't. But I feel like that sounds familiar, but
remember when you did that one tier list on stream? That was cool. What was the actual tier list about again? I don't even remember.
Was it a rate your waifus or was it something else?
No, it was what was it about? Man. I don't remember. Pass it on. Let me know what it was because I don't remember. Let's see. Questions. We react to the JoJo Part 6 trailer when it happens. I don't know. Probably going completely blind. Centipede Senpai with the 100 bits. Hey bros, have you guys heard about Banana Fish? Yes, it's been on multiple polls. My sister introduced it to me, and it's surprisingly good despite the weird name. Yeah. I have a couple people that are very much, hoping that we react to it at some point.
Yep.
Hey, are you guys gonna watch the Made in Abyss movie? I want to suffer with you all via a reaction. So movies. That's right. So there's certain movies that people have been wanting reactions on for a while because they're related to shows that finished the currently aired stuff, but they are canon continuations of content that is coming up there. So if anything, we don't really have any grand reason.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe what we ended up deciding on was that basically, if they're necessary for watching if there's another season afterward, it's canonically in the story, you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Then it would be something where we would want it to happen before that next season. So it's not just like we randomly watch a movie and then we put down the series, essentially for another year or two or whatever until more content comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's essentially it. So when's the next Rate Your Waifu? I don't know.
Tier list was Domekano Best Girl. That's right.
And then that doesn't sound
obviously
right.
Momo.
What was the tier list about anime? Not just anime you react to, but just a variety of anime.
Oh
my god!
Wow. Well, because there were a bunch of ones where we would be we would each have our 5 anime that we would love for a particular reason, or were favorites of ours,
But wow, I'm gonna have to go back and check the screenshot of the tier list.
Rank them top to bottom.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of podcasts.
Yeah. Any plans for Umbrella Academy season 2? I haven't seen season 1, so
I saw the first episode of season 1.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we got caught up to the questions that are with berries. Let me check to see if we missed any kind of big ones from the back there. When's next karaoke stream? Wait, did we?
The next karaoke.
Just when's a karaoke stream? That I don't know.
I think it's more specifically talking about when am I gonna play the next Yakuza game?
Oh, gotcha.
Or when Caleb plays Yakuza.
See. We're halfway through the season of summer. Summer's July, September, right? Okay. So then you're talking about the season that would go fall from September till the end of the year, basically. Yeah, I don't know what's coming out then, but it has apparently Promised Neverland Season 2 and Dr. Stone Season 2.
It very well might have been a Prosody thing. Like Prosody referenced it at some point, and it's
definitely was a Prosody
Piece,
reference.
So.
Yeah, I think that was related to the
One Piece song that I thought I'd recognize the name of.
Oh, maybe I thought it was something else, but okay. Okay, yeah, I think we're caught up. Yeah, what's your favorite one OP to a show you don't have interest in watching? Domestic Girlfriend.
Wow.
I don't really have interest in watching that show ever again. But yeah, the opening is a banger. Like it's really that good. But there you go. That's my easy answer.
Okay, for me, that's really tough because I want to say something
yours
like
is, you let me
No. Maybe Guilty Crown's OP, you know.
Oh. So everything that makes me whole belongs to you. I give my heart and soul. Right, that's the one with the really good music, but the show's
but
not
I actually want to watch Guilty Crown at some point just because of the music.
Gotcha.
So,
here's a question. A trend I see on the channel is people pushing for you guys to watch a specific anime or things along those lines. Is this something you guys struggle with? A lot of YouTubers struggle with mental health due to pressure from the audience. I'm wondering how you guys feel about the topic and what do you guys do to handle it? We kind of don't really have problems with that.
Yeah, for like specific watch this thing, you know, it's kind of just like
that's kind of par for the course.
So it's when your cat is on your table, right? And it's gonna like mess up the D&D miniatures or something like that, and you take out the sprayer and you just spray it with water, right? And just, go, get off the table, right? You know, you establish a working, you know, just pattern for how you deal with it.
Yeah, I think that with shilling specifically, that's not really the kind of stuff I struggle with.
Because we like to hear about what shows are really good and things like that, you know.
Yeah. I know it was already said, but seriously, watch Great Pretender when it comes out. Everything about it is near perfect, and the plot and movies made by certain characters are lelouch. Plot and moves made by certain characters are lelouch big brain.
Okay, good to know.
What's your guys' favorite D&D classes? Oh, let's go,
okay,
Jacob.
All right,
so tell him why the wizard is the best class, Jacob.
Well, no. Okay.
Oh, I'm not. I'm sorry. You're putting words in your mouth.
Whole can of worms here.
I'm not talking about the best class.
No.
Your favorite class, Jacob.
My favorite class. Okay, so no, I can't just say that, right?
It's going to be wizard.
I've been playing wizard a lot because I like the idea of permanent scaling with like learning like magic and stuff like that.
Right.
Even though like wizards get made fun of because it's like, dude, nerd, like you have to do that to get magic, you know, whereas bards and sorcerers are just doing all kinds of stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I really love that one. But the thing is that one of my other favorite ones is the paladin.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Because the paladin is really fucking cool. Like all the people that shit on paladins don't know what they're talking about. They're thinking of bad experiences of how particular players played paladins. But the idea of a paladin is actually pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
Like it's like lots of awesome stuff can happen with paladins, not just with how they're built, you know, and everything statistically, but like from a role-playing perspective and everything, absolutely. Yes, paladins are wonderful.
Yeah. And it's really
like more.
It's really funny because in some ways when I think about this question, I almost entirely go for just my playing experiences, limited as they are, with those classes versus others.
Sure.
And in some ways, I have to say that in like terms of what it would like what it would have to be, like it would have to be probably. It just feels weird to say because I don't think mechanically this class is well designed. Like at all. But
I think I know which one you're talking about.
The bard in a lot of ways. Like in a lot of ways, I feel like the most fun I've had is just goofing off in one shots
with a bard
playing
character.
A really janky bard at level 1.
Bards do tend to be a lot of fun,
and it just leads to a really fun, funky experience. I think that at early levels, I've had more kind of fun when I brought a warlock that was like overtuned to the max to just just stomp at level 1, and it's hilarious what you can do with a warlock at level 1
or level 2 or 3, yeah.
or a cleric.
Clerics are just
goddamn cleric.
Clerics
at
are
level
just
1.
the most busted class out there.
Yeah, so warlocks and clerics are kind of like my, if I'm like not wanting to necessarily like played a long time with the character, I'm just wanting to make a really strong character.
Sure, yeah.
I'll play a warlock or a cleric. Warlocks aren't as strong, I think, the later you go into things. But early on, both of those classes, but then Bard is for the we're making a character we're gonna stick around with for the long haul. Yeah. They might not live that long, but that's what it's gonna be.
So, but yeah, one of the other things that I have to say on this is that I have been really getting addicted to the idea of playing D&D characters that don't have a lot of hit points. It's surprisingly fun. And that might be something that does take paladins down a peg because they are actually really badass. So yeah.
Oh, it's not high school girl, it's high score girl. Oh, wow, we're dumb. That my bad. I misread that. Last mecha anime you really enjoyed. Oh, I haven't watched really
mecha anime that I've watched. Anime. Okay, Attack on Titan. It's a flesh mecha.
There you go.
Because otherwise, it's like what? Gurren Lagann, Code Geass, and
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
we've watched
Legend of Galactic Heroes did turn into a mecha show for a little bit.
Yeah. How excited are you guys for second half of Haikyuu season 4?
Yes. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
It's gonna be wonderful.
It's gonna be amazing. Okay. Jacob, have you watched Interspecies Reviewers yet? If you can't say yes out loud, blink twice.
I actually haven't seen Interspecies Reviewers yet.
This isn't a question, but here's some recommendations to think about for Western cartoons. Steven Universe, Young Justice, Rick and Morty, DuckTales 2019, and something I'm going to watch soon, She-Ra. This is for either reactions or just to watch, although I would prefer reactions, of course. 100 bits. Thank you for the bits.
Yes, thank you.
Man. I've been watching Dragon Prince a lot, and I've been loving it.
Apparently, Dragon Prince is getting...
Did you guys hear about this?
Okay,
Dragon Prince is getting the full saga of 7 seasons confirmed by Netflix and EHA's.
They're not getting a 4th season. They're getting
4 more
seasons.
Yep.
What?
Yep. I think we're still a bit behind some bits here, so let me make sure we got there. Or did I reread a bits message actually?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, maybe this one just ended up getting missed there. New Breeze with the 100 bits. When it comes to trying to see the bigger picture, whether it be a character or the story itself, what do you look for and why? Whenever I try, I feel as if I only see the surface and miss out on a lot of details, and most importantly, the story because of it. So I think you're going to miss out on details, no matter what. And if anyone's watched our reactions for long enough, we miss quite a few things.
We miss things all the time. When we get things for very specific reasons, though, and that's why it looks like we're constantly getting everything.
Right, but we're not.
Stuff, but we're really not.
But we're really not. So I think it's more of just a thing of when you're... Oh, I'm sorry. I was really high up on the things here for the chat here and stuff. So let me go back to the spot where we were at. But for answering this question here, I think what we do specifically is observe what's been given to us in the episode and see where the focus point of that episode is, and then ask questions to either each other or in our heads, basically, of what reason was that potentially put there, and then see if the episode itself gave us the answers, and then just start talking out loud about it.
Sure.
And sometimes our thoughts just end up leading towards specific things that we want to discuss about.
Well, and that's one of the other things. We talk about it out loud with other people that are interested in this kind of stuff, like each other, right?
It helps us out a lot.
So that helps a lot. We go through a lot of it, and also stories don't happen by accident. They don't. There is a ridiculous amount of effort and thought that goes into everything that's being put in there, even if there is emergent properties and stuff that you can read into. So if you watch a story, there is a lot of stuff that you can glean about the creator of the story and why they made it in this particular way if you harp on some of the details. You won't always be right, but there is a method to the madness in there.
Favorite Harry Potter book, movie, and character. So I think mine's very
Neville Longbottom.
Very easy. Neville Longbottom's wonderful. Yes, definitely. In some ways, to tie things to that, the Order of the Phoenix is my favorite book, and it still pains me that in some ways it's one of the better movies as well, because in some ways it didn't do the book justice. As far as the movies go, but a lot of the movies after a certain point stopped doing the books justice.
Because 2.5 hours for a book, 250 pages. 2.5 hours for a book that's 750 pages. It doesn't quite
right.
It's hard.
They nailed Umbridge though.
Yeah,
in terms of casting.
God,
Umbridge is in my opinion one of the best things about the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah,
but in terms of characters, like I've always had Hagrid as my favorite character.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say McGonagall.
Well, for a second. McGonagall is like I stand McGonagall. Also for specifically movie. Also movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Acting from McGonagall.
Book
that
character,
actress is. Even though she wasn't given necessarily that much to work with,
she did a great job.
Not today, Mr. Weasley.
Yeah. Like, why is it always you three? Like, okay, favorite book character, Neville. Favorite movie character, like as far as like how they were cast and portrayed and everything, it'd probably be McGonagall. Like she really fits the role like perfectly.
Yeah. Have you ever broken the one episode a week schedule because you were unable to wait? Your self-control is mind-boggling to me.
Yep.
Very rarely, but the answer is yes.
Yeah. And like sometimes it'll be like not quite a week, but yeah, there have been times when it's like, so we just need to watch that next episode right now.
Yeah. Are we going to see a video of Caleb playing Ultimate Frisbee? A 1-minute video would be enough for me. Well, the dumb thing is that I promised a video at one point and still haven't been able to actually produce that. So the answer is yes. I don't know how. I don't know when. But I'm a baka. It's going to happen. It has to. Otherwise, what's my word good for?
Yes, Kanamori is best girl in Eizouken.
Kanamori is definitely best girl.
Best girl, hands down.
For sure. Favorite Critical Role season? Season? What do you mean season?
I think they are listed as seasons on like the wiki or something.
God. Yeah. So like arcs?
Okay.
I have no idea.
I don't know, but I will say that I was watching it live when they became pirates. And oh my God, that was one of the best things I'd ever experienced.
That was pretty fun. Make a bet with Jacob to finish Dark Souls with less deaths than you as a wizard, and then ask him his favorite class again.
No, if I did Dark Souls, I would definitely be the heavy two-handed sword, like type class.
Big guy.
Yeah.
Are there other things you guys want to do on the channel that you think wouldn't fit or just don't have the time for?
Ooh.
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, would you prefer if I also didn't?
No, I am fine with you being maybe vague, but
But one of the tough things about this question is it's kind of like
under promise, over deliver.
Right. It's a lot of the similar things of like, will you watch the movies for this, or or things like that and whatnot, because it can be a Pandora's box where you give an inch and they want a foot, right? Where all of a sudden it's like, and I'm not talking about foot fetishes, although I don't know, but but the idea that something is an idea. Might sound great as an idea, it might be practical as an idea, but it might not work as an actual thing. And if you talk about it, then people will be like, no, that's amazing, who cares if it doesn't really fit on the channel? Do it, it's wonderful. So it's like, whoa.
So you might see, I don't know when, or maybe I just say I don't know when because it's just better for me to say that, things that are just not reaction videos, maybe.
We have interest in doing things that break the reaction mold, like the Dark Souls highlight bit. That's sort of a little bit of that.
That's sort of something of that. So yeah. That's we got some bits here. When are we getting to see the BTS? You mean behind this?
1.696969 million
berries later.
Berries? No. That is a good point, actually.
Yeah.
We didn't actually take a picture of the old place.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, good job.
Yeah. Super Mono Man with the 100 bits. Have you heard of Has Been Hotel, an original YouTube animated series with one episode by the channel
Vivzy Pop.
Yeah. I love it, and I think it's objectively great. Even though you never do this for that kind of stuff, a reaction would be awesome.
I've seen it.
Jacob's seen it. Yes. I have not seen it.
I watched the music video that was released a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you were pretty inspired by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch Gundam, it's good. Let's see. Dragon Prince getting full 7 seasons mean we get Sun, Sky, Stars, Moon, Earth, Ocean, and Dark Book seasons. That makes me so hyped. Yeah. Ramis, that's it. I forgot about Dark Magic. I was like, yes, there's 6 primal sources, but Dark Magic is what would be the 7th one. So I'm so dumb. I was literally like freaking out, like, what's the 7th one gonna be? Yeah, it's right there. It's obvious. Do you guys ever plan on watching the older anime from the mid-2000s? Watching this older anime from the mid-2000s. A sad show about school play, Gias. It's not an anime many would shill to you. Yes, I wasted berries on a prequel meme. Wait.
Yeah, I thought not. You know, have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis?
Wow. Oh my god. That was yeah. Only
old school Plagueis.
Only fans with Caleb Ahegao faces. Didn't I do like Ahegao face on stream?
No, why would they buy the cow when you've been giving away the milk for free, Caleb?
Oh my god. Are you guys still going to play Danganronpa? That's the Dango Bongo one, right?
Well, no. So there's Dango, which is like a Clanad thing. And then there's Danganronpa, which is a different thing. I think it's kind of like a mystery kind of visual novel or something.
Gotcha. Or have you guys given up on playing games together? No, we haven't given up on playing games together. Don't worry. That's still something that can happen. Oh my god, you guys are getting into,
get on the Discord.
Getting into degeneracy.
Some of the femotes that have been made of Caleb and I. Movie Snape is wonderful. Yes, Movie Snape is absolutely just a gem.
Lots of things in here. Here we go. Okay. Any shows, art in general, that you used to not like, but on revisit, your opinion has flipped? Okay, here's an easy one. In a lot of ways, I knew a lot about the character designs of One Piece before I had seen One Piece.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
And that was one of the things that, yes, turned me off to the idea of watching the anime. Now, I am reading the manga, and I absolutely love the character designs.
Oh yeah,
it is a boon, not a bane for the story.
As far as for me, I don't know. I'll think on that.
Oh, Dango Bongo is how ProZD described it before he played. Gotcha. That's why it's in my head somewhere.
Okay.
When are you guys gonna watch the SpongeBob anime? Episode 1 is out and it's really good. Manga is also amazing. Oh my god! So do you know the story of this?
Yes.
Oh, you already watched it.
Yeah, I think I've watched. Aren't there 2 episodes out now?
So
yeah,
here's the issue. This is something that's really freaky. I haven't watched it yet, but I heard that it got removed from YouTube because of it breaking the community guidelines about it being for kids.
Oh my god.
Yep. And then the guy appealed it. The guy appealed it, and YouTube said no. And also, the guy has a community manager, email contact at YouTube. Person no longer has a working email that he can contact, so he's stuck in, strike hell, community strike too. Community guideline strikes are like, you never want to get one of those. We've never gotten one of those at all. It's only copyright strikes. But
it's back?
It's back?
Okay. All right, good.
Wait. Good. The redemption arc, it's actually
when Narmak marked it not for kids when he uploaded it. Isn't YouTube wonderful?
Well, here's the thing. YouTube is like, no, you don't know if it's actually for kids or not. We know because our bot can see a specific color variation in a specific thing. Yeah. And because of that this is the kind of stuff basically that was why when this system was implemented, people freaked out. They were like, really?
Because what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. So, yeah. Shit, stop the stream. We gotta watch it. Nah, this is called SpongeBob, so it probably is. Hey, this isn't for kids. How dare you? Oh my god. Wait, it came back yesterday because people got Save SpongeBob Anime trending. That is messed up. I'll just tell you, this is something that is the most scary thing about YouTube. That if you want to protect your channel on YouTube, you need a Twitter following.
Right.
It doesn't matter how many subs you have on YouTube. Well, no, that's not completely true. I have seen actually YouTubers have good interactions with YouTube on the back end.
It has happened.
It has happened.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once or twice, you know?
Right.
But if you have a Twitter following, then your YouTube channel is probably going to be not, completely gone forever.
Yeah, we need Save Community Captions trending now.
Jesus, it's so true.
Why would YouTube get rid of that? Why?
Like, it's dumb. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So, follow our Twitter. So in case, of the apocalypse,
right. Yes,
we have enough people to be able to start a trend, Yeah, it's not like we post anything of worth there, but,
well, when is anything of worth ever on Twitter? Yeah, Twitter is totally toxic.
I
for
don't.
business and nothing else.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need a hashtag, we need a exclamation Twitter command. Yeah, SMH for sure. Okay, I think we've gone a bit off of the Q&A here, so we're gonna wrap it up with only a few more questions, and then we'll be calling it. Oh my goodness, yeah. Just thinking about that though, it's just crazy. The guy was adding Big YouTube on Twitter for help. YouTube didn't respond. Yep, I'm aware. Yeah. Favorite Rooster Teeth personality? It's so weird to say personality because I've met now a few of them. And it's like, it's in some ways a thing of where I'm like, there's certain ones that are the same on camera versus off camera. And there's other ones where it's like, oh, they're just a completely different person in real life. And like, whenever you say personality, then it kind of brings up a little bit of my like, oh, maybe it's not always a good idea to meet your heroes kind of thing, because your expectations of their personality that they show on camera isn't actually, consistent with who they are in real life. I totally get that. And my favorite interaction with a Rooster Teeth person was Barbara Dunkelman when I was going through the actual Rooster Teeth site area, and the person who was guiding me through the area basically like left for a little bit. And Barbara just came down and just hung out and chatted with me for a little bit before a show. And it was really cool. Like, she's definitely, I would say, like one of the most genuine people in the actual like community that I would actually watch the content that she's connected with.
Yeah, I would probably say Barbara too, because like, I mean, I don't know as many of the Rooster Teeth people though, but like I watched Always Open basically just because of Barbara, like some of the time. Yeah. Not all of it. Some episodes,
but Barbara is legit. YouTube be sacrificing everyone. The Bellhead is too strong. Oh my god. Were there any surprises in playing Dark Souls that you didn't get from its reputation? Yes, quite a few. That it would be this much fun.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that he's enjoying it this much.
I thought that dying 150 times would be just hell. Like, it would be horrible. It was definitely stressful. It was anxiety inducing. But holy crap, was it fun still. Like, holy crap, I would not think that I could die 150 times in a game where I'm probably not even a good percentage into the game and actually, like, love the game this much. I thought I would like the game. I didn't think I would fall in love with the game. So that's a really weird aspect of it. Yes, I did not think Dark Souls would be this rewarding. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. It feels really weird to say, for you to say like, oh man, dying 150 times when I'm just thinking like, you've already played Dark Souls for more hours than I played Ori 1, and 1,300 deaths or 1,200 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
like,
I understand. I understand.
Ridiculous amount. It's
different.
Now, a lot of it was because I just didn't understand the game, but like,
right. But Dark Souls 1 is most definitely a bigger game than Ori 1
for
is.
sure.
So yeah. So there's a lot of parts where you're just walking around, not necessarily like
that's true. Yeah,
stuck at a specific wall. Even though I did have one of those moments recently. It's the same for me with Souls. Yeah. Have you picked up on some Berserk influences in Dark Souls? Yes, definitely. Oh yeah. It's because someone who's never bothered with Dark Souls, that was a fun highlight video. Oh, good, cool, good. Yeah, because in some ways the highlight video is just an experiment. See if it's something that's
people like
and stuff. But yeah, glad to hear it. Hollow Knight might be worth playing. Yes, I think own it because of how many people have just recommended it. There was a sale on a bunch of games, and Hollow Knight was really cheap, and I was just like, I'll grab that just in case it ever is something we're gonna want to play.
Cool.
Will Battle Lines get an audiobook one day? Thanks for the bits.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe. I don't know. I've never made an audiobook, and it would either be very expensive or very complicated and take a lot of time and effort, or both. And so I don't know.
Audiobook voiced by One Piece characters.
Actually,
like 5 head idea.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Usopp voices. Oh my God, Jacob.
No.
That's like not a bad idea. Usopp
my
voices
specific voice
for
impression
Usopp,
for Usopp doing
just doing voiceover for anything. But anything.
It would only be the people that know my Usopp voice.
But who cares? Even if they're like, wait, this isn't Usopp's voice, and then it's like
Usopp tells Kaya the story of Battle Lines. That would actually that'd be pretty cool.
You'd be a brave warrior of the space sea.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What do you guys think about isekai? You made a YouTube stream about it, so I couldn't ask. But personally, I find the stigma is a bit weird. It literally just means transport to another world, which can easily be done amazingly. I think people just don't like its current form for the most part.
Yep. Basically,
100%.
Okay. All stories should be isekai. Don't take that out of context, because the clarifier for that is that it should isekai you, the audience, right? That's if you do that, you're golden. That's one of the best things you can do, right?
Yep.
And certain things isekai people rather easily without as much effort as others,
Yep.
And there you go, right? There you go. Yeah.
GLaDOS, you hit it. It's all about execution. I think a lot of it is just based on the idea that yes, isekai is a gold mine of story, and right now it's getting plundered.
Right. For everything that it's worth. You have the murder hobos that are breaking the walls and turning things to dust and sifting through every possible thing they can,
right,
in order to make sure that they catch every
pillaging.
But the thing is that sometimes you think you're done, and then you break through to a natural cavern down below, and you're like, hey, it just keeps going, right? So
that scratching sound when you scrape something metal against metal and it goes down across it, but it's no longer skipping along the grooves. It's already been so finely brought down that I'm already making your ears like ring a little bit as you hear it, and it's just like that kind of thing. That's where I feel like there's this one little area of isekai that for some reason they keep scraping that area, and there's this other treasure trove over here, and the dragon's like, yeah, as long as you keep away from my good shit, like you can stay here as long as you want, just make the noise a little less god awful, like please.
This is one of the things that whenever someone is wanting to make a story and stuff, and it's something that's helped me get off my own ass as far as like writing and things like that, is that your ideas are not special, right? You might have an idea and it might be kind of cool, whatever, who cares? But it's about execution. A good writer will be able to take a bad idea and make it great.
Yep.
And a bad writer will be able to take a great idea and make it awful.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Tanya is my favorite example because it's so different in such a specific setting and character.
Tanya is a fun one.
It's a fun one, yeah. And ReZero Season 1 is a great example of a well-done isekai protagonist.
Yes.
I will say almost definitively that he is, other than maybe Kazuma, maybe even better than Kazuma, my favorite isekai protagonist.
Yeah, I was
actually, unironically, my favorite isekai protagonist.
I was in a call with some people. I think it was on like the Giga Discord or something, but and they were talking about like who's excited for ReZero Season 2, right? And one of them was like, "Yeah, but the main character for ReZero Season 1, main character for ReZero just Subaru sucks." And I was like, "Okay, hold on." Like,
why? Help me understand your mind. There.
Like ReZero is not one of those shows that I will feel like I have to defend. Right. But trash talking Subaru for being a garbage main character, I was like, I couldn't not say anything.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I think we're done for questions now.
Yep.
So 2-hour mark on the dot, but yeah. Yeah. Is Attack on Titan technically isekai now?
I mean, the hero's journey is isekai if you think about it.
Oh, that's a good podcast title.
And you know why?
Pretty clickbaity and like a lot of discussion that can be had right now.
And you know why it's powerful? Because the isekai ends.
That's
full circle.
Perfect.
Back to where they came
from. That is a brilliant way to end
really,
the whole
that's
Q&A.
important to have.
That is a
and
great
that's why
point.
Subaru is so good, because it's a perpetual comparison of what would it be like for a normal person to get put into a fantasy world and things like that. It would not go well in multiple different ways.
Nope. But y'all, thank you so much for checking out our podcast, hanging out here. There's almost 200 of you at the height. That was fantastic. We have some awesome streams coming up this week.
We do.
Specifically, some new ones for him specifically. But One Piece manga readings tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific time. If you haven't ever been to one of these, it's really a lot of goofy fun. We do dramatic voices for the characters. Get really into it. It's probably my favorite time of the week for all the stuff that we do. And be sure to check that out. But also on
yes, but we specifically got introduced to
right.
Best worst girl.
Yes.
But it's fine because she's beautiful. So yeah. And then Thursdays I do gaming, which just wrapped up Ori and the Will-O-the-Wisps in like a 6.5 hour stream. It was crazy.
Dang, yeah.
But that means that it's time for something else.
So are you going to do a new game that's secret, or are you
I'm going to do a new game. I'm announcing it here. I will finally understand that line that I have said before of that now you're thinking with Portals, because I'm going to be playing Portal, the first one. I know nothing about these games other than the fact that it involves making portals and teleporting things, and it's kind of a puzzle solver. I saw the trailer, but I have no idea how that will go.
That's a pretty small game. That'd be perfect.
Right, I've heard it's pretty small, so make sure you come to this stream, on Thursday, because that might.
Oh, that's cool.
Like that might be all of Portal 1 right there. So
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. You guys are excited to see that. So Thursday, 3 p.m. All our streams, by the way, at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's what Jacob's gaming stream is going to be. And yes, if you haven't noticed, there's been some Dark Souls stuff on the channel. That's because I am doing Dark Souls on Wednesdays and Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific time, doing kind of specific length streams with regards to that. And yes, more highlight videos to come of that. Also, I have, as of right about now, a lot of the actual, oh my god, Knights of the Fallen. Wow. Thank you so much for the 10 tier 1 community subs. Wow.
35 gifted subs in a single stream. I think that might be some kind of record.
Just thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's really
very
kind of you. Wow. What a fun day this has been. Oh my gosh. But we've got Dark Souls Wednesday and Friday, and more highlights of those are going to be coming out rather quickly to catch up to where we're at with the actual Twitch streams and stuff. But also, if you want to stay kind of up to date on streams that we've done in the past that might not be on our backlog of Twitch stuff, because that only goes back 2 months, there's our VOD channel, which has a command for !VOD if you want to check all the ones that we at least have, because some of them from way back when we didn't necessarily keep, but there's a bunch of crazy stuff on there, so check that out.
Also, any of you people that just got gifted a sub,
yes.
if you haven't been on the Discord, then make sure to sync up your Discord and Twitch accounts. That way you can get on the Discord, see what it's like for a month. Yeah,
you get access to that. You get a sweet magnet sub badge on Twitch chat here. And you can get into a lot of the kind of discussions surrounding either the games we're playing or the anime that we're reacting to, or just stories in general with us. Or, the ridiculous emotes that people there come up with and stuff. But also got Jacob's book, something about some curves, some lines.
Curves. No, actually battle lines. It's a sci-fi novel I wrote. It's on Amazon. It's pretty cool. And if you're interested, the link is in chat to check it out.
Yeah. So, we'll see you next one, hopefully tomorrow or at one of the gaming streams. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time. All right.
Ooh, boy.
I felt really good, guys. Thanks for jumping into this. This was really cool. I was feeling a bit emotional and stuff, so I felt like it would be a good time to have kind of a more AMA,
like connecting time.
AUA, ask us everything, anything, And it was pretty cool. But
thank you, Bomba de Lupulo. It's very kind of you.
Yeah, you guys have a great evening. Curvy Lines is the sequel, or is the fan fiction sequel,
Yeah, I'm still waiting on more fanfics,
Yeah. Jackbox stream when? We just did one, like, really recently.
Yeah,
I really feel like we did one, like, quite recently.
Yeah.
But, there were not that many questions, but there was one regarding, like, Jacob, at the ending of Battle Lines, why did you go with...
Oh, yeah.